Hey, if you're one of those golfers who has what's called a two-way miss off the tee, that means you might push the ball into the right rough or hook the ball into the left rough, then this video is definitely going to be for you. I'm joined by my best student, Gustavo. We're going to work on this issue today, so stay tuned. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. If you haven't already done so, I've left links down below. You can go ahead and pick up my free ebook, 50 Tips for Hitting Your Longest Drives Ever. Or if you're a slicer, then you can pick up my free half-hour video that will help you cure your slice. Again, I've left links down below. Check it out. Okay, so again, I'm joined by one of my favorite students, Gustavo. He has made a ton of headway in the last few months, and we kind of want to show you a summation of everything that we've been working on, because I think it's going to help some of you at home quite a bit. So Gustavo, when he came to me, why don't you tell them about a little bit about what your drives looked like a few months ago?
There was a combination of coming over the top and early extension of my hips.
Okay.
So
what was the ball flight like?
Well, it was or either a push to the right,
okay.
And if I get too handsy, it will get kind of a hook to the left.
Right. So we end up not knowing where to aim or on what day where the miss is going to be. So in other words, you could just never know what to count on from day to day, and therefore you could get yourself in some really bad spots that are hard to score from.
Right.
Is that right? And about how far were you driving the ball before?
200 to 10.
200 to 210. So even at that distance, it was enough. If I recall correctly, you were swinging anywhere 8 to 10 degrees inside out. So it was quite a lot inside out. So even at that distance, you were still having a hard time catching all the fairways and playing under control. So we're going to work on it a little bit and hope you get a lot of benefit out of it. Okay, so I've got the TrackMan going. Gustavo, you're going to hit just a few drivers for me. I'm going to step out of the picture here. Was that one of the shots that you would find familiar, that kind of would have overdrew kind of towards the left rough?
A little bit,
yeah.
It will bounce to the left rough, yeah.
Okay, let's do one more. Now, is that a shot that you might have hit on the course before? Kind of a drop kick hook like that? It was a pretty ugly shot, wasn't it? Yeah. And so, let me walk back here and on camera again. So that shot is very characteristic of the body action that was being made when you are pushing your hips into what we call early extension, or kind of standing up, raising up this way. What happens next is very difficult for us to get the chest to turn around the corner from that action, because you see what would happen if I were come up out of my posture this way and try to turn, I would fall over my toes, and that was something that seemed to happen early on too. I would often kind of catch you kind of making little steps this direction, kind of falling off balance just a bit. So this is all familiar to you guys watching this. We're going to now show you the drills that Gustavo did to really get this problem under control, and now he's really driving the ball beautifully. Okay, so the first drill we're going to be doing here is we're going to be doing the chair drill, or the wall drill I like to call it. I've given this to you guys on this channel lots of times before, but now you're going to kind of see it in action and see how it actually affects the swing and the path of the swing. So his first set of balls, he was averaging between 6 and 7 degrees inside to out. And of course you saw the exact pattern that he was describing, which is kind of a push, and then he had a real bad drop kick hook in the mix too, which would have gone short in the rough and really gotten gobbled up. So now we're going to do some where the task is going to be to stay on the chair as he pivots through the ball. Ideally, if it's possible with this chair, that we can actually lift the chair a half of an inch off the ground with the left butt cheek as we pivot through. So we'll hit a couple, then I'll come back, and just from this, we'll be able to see the difference, hopefully, in the ball flight and the path. Okay, so that ball is flying much more straight to straight. In fact, wouldn't you agree that that ball almost had a little bit of a cut to it, didn't it? So here's the amazing thing is, just from this drill alone, compared to the swing where he hooked the ball, that there's just a lot more rotation of the chest going through the ball because the weight is staying back, the rear is staying back. But what's really interesting, you had about a 6.5 degree in to out club path on the first set. The last one you hit was only 0.9, so basically a dead straight club path. And another thing you got out of it was you actually got more upstrike into it, which is also interesting, but not unexpected. Now let's add one more little piece of the drill, and I think we'll be able to really see you start to shine. Okay, so the second half of the drill that I've been having him do, besides, he's also been working independently at home against the chair, against a wall, many times I'm guessing, really been working hard at it. But it's obvious when someone's working very hard at it because week after week, there was progress being made. So this is really fantastic. It's going to work for you if you put the time in. The second half of the drill here, I've put a golf bag out here and I've put a shaft with the head cover on it and I've pulled it out. And now all he's going to have to do is just make sure that the hands and the club shaft swing under and to the left as his butt stays on the wall. So I'll let you hit a couple this way. These don't have to be fast. They just have to be smooth and comfortable so that you can achieve the task. And hands miss the head cover. Wow, that's a beauty. That's about as well as can be hit, huh?
Well, I did a little bit more rotation in the backswing.
That was fantastic.
I lift the leg like you.
So just from this alone, you picked up about, 10 or 12 yards or so. You were at about 220 that time at 85 miles an hour. So if I remember, you were typically at around 82 miles an hour when we began, 80 to 82. 85 miles an hour, and because you are going to pick up more speed when you don't early extend, but when the rear end stays back, you're able to push more force into the ground, you're able to turn more, and that just speeds up the whole carnival ride. What I really like about that shot, however, was the ball flight. Your path there was 0. So on TrackMan, that just simply means arcing in and being dead straight to the target line at the moment of contact. So you could see in that video, it's a good one to watch over and over again of his last swing on how good the butt is staying back, the posture is being maintained better, and the handle of the club is moving left as he goes around. Not only is this going to straighten out the path, if the path is straighter, but it also is going to put some passive squaring force into the club face. So let me switch with you for a second, switch places with me. So as opposed to popping off the wall this way, as we would say he used to shift his weight into right center field this way, it would be very hard to get the hands to move under and left. It just wouldn't be a natural motion. Now he was trying his best by steepening the arm. So this is the way he used to swing, was this way, and the club shaft was a lot more kind of, as he described, over the top. It was his way to try to get not only the path to be even somewhere decent, but also to keep from hitting it really fat with your irons. And so doing it this way, and you'll notice I'm going to try to almost lift the chair, which maintains my posture this way, but the club is going to be coming in more square to the arc, as opposed to this way, it's coming in more open. So we have more squaring force, so we don't need to roll it shut so badly. And exiting around to the left. So hey, thanks for watching. If you got some benefit out of this video, I surely hope that you will consider subscribing, like the video, leave a comment down below. For Gustavo, I'm Steve. Thanks a lot to Golf Development Complex for the beautiful scenery and the beautiful day. And hey, if I don't see you in the next video, I hope I see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Stay well.